Hello, I'm Joyce Trowbridge, and I'm here with Softflex Company doing Spill the Beads with me, Joyce Trowbridge. I've been, I'm so excited. The second one this year, and we have lots of fun things planned. Normally on Thursdays at 10 a.m., we're going to alternate between me, Joyce Trowbridge, with Spill the Beads, doing fun tutorials at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and then every other one will be a live bead sell with Softflex Company. So next week we will be back to doing a live bead sell. We did May. Oh my gosh, did you see all the stuff from Tucson that Sarah and Kristen did last week? Did you get your hands on any of that? I am so jealous. I was not able to get my hands on a few of those items that I wanted. But you know, it, that's all good. We're gonna find good stuff anyway. We always have good stuff. I know there's more stuff um next next week that we will get into. So you'll see me mostly on Thursdays at 10 a.m. either doing Spill the Beads with y'all or the live bead sell. And of course, the going on our app or on our website is the best way to shop that. If you don't, oh, I've missed you all too. Hi, Zach. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Tina. Hi, Kelly. Kristen. Love you, Kristen. Loved having you on here. I got Thomas in the background. Look at all you wonderful people. So good to see you all. I have missed you too. I'm so glad we're starting out 2026 with some fun things with Softflex Company, and this is kind of one of my favorites. So we are going to play around with where's my camera? Wire wrapping, because you know I love my craft wire. I love my wire weaving. I've used this technique to do rings before. You can find past tutorials, Spill the Bead tutorials on our YouTube page. And that technique is used to make a ring, but I'm going to make a hearts because, like, hello, can't get enough hearts. We need more love in this, right? Stickers. Oh, I love that. I can't wait to see your stickers, Kristen. Of course, you're going to make amazing stickers. Oh, I think that's so fun. So let's switch this over. Oh, right now, you see, I'm just so excited to be here with you that I'm all over the place, but we're gonna breathe and remember all the wonderful things that we want to share. Get that hashtag heart, because at the end of this, we're going to draw a name. You must be present and you must have an account on our website, because you will get a little sweepstakes at the end. You can see the rules in the comments in there, and see all the rules on there. You'll get I think it's $10 credit, something like that, at the end. So get that hashtag cart in. You just have to put that in to enter. Oh my gosh, totally need Softflex stickers. This is not. I'm too excited about all these things. Are you excited? Are you all excited about all the different things that we've been doing? There's been so much fun. I just get to see little pinches of it. Also, don't forget to go on our website and use because we have 20% off of our beading wire. We love our beading wire. That is our staple for so many things, because once I'm done with this heart, I need to do a little necklace with it. I might actually make one of these hearts might turn into like a little sun catcher kind of thing, you know? I think that would be really fun. Use Softflex Lover as the coupon to get your 20% off of the flexible beading wire. by Softflex Company. And then let's just get into, we're going to swap over. There we go. We did it. And start making these little hearts, right? Yes, happy Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. My mom brought me up believing in Valentine's Day is for everyone. It is friends and family and all loved ones. A day to celebrate sharing love, and so I'm always for it. I think, and I think it's great to do it all year round. So we are going to play around with this technique. So for the heart part, we are using 18 gauge. I used for this particular one because I wanted it a little bit pinker. I don't know if you can pull that, if it catches it on there. The magenta would look amazing. I know we still have some magenta left. That would be, but I use the rose gold in the 18 gauge. If you want to make this a little bit smaller, you can do 20 gauge, but for something this size, I think the 18 is what's going to really hold your shape. And then I used 26 gauge. I do recommend doing 26 gauge. If you have problems with that, I think you can also use 28 gauge, so that's a little bit more flexible, but I really love using 26 gauge for the wrapping part. And I used the silver on the rose gold because I wanted to give it two tones. I like the two-tone look myself, but of course you could match it. You could do rose gold on rose gold or silver on silver, however you want to do that. Today I'm feeling kind of funky with, like, I want some funky colors. Funky colors is not really funky colors, but I feel vintage colors maybe. I'm going to do this blue in the 18 for the heart. And then I want the vintage bronze on it because I think the vintage bronze, oh, where's my other light? It just is such a good color on the blue. And so I think that would be really pretty. But I can't find my 26 gauge, so I'm going to have to order some 26 gauge so that I have some. But I'm going to use 24 in this case. So it's going to look a little bit different, but that, like, a little thicker around the edge, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Yes, Sherry. I've been contemplating adding beads on here or not. I think this one's really sweet. I like this kind of component because you can kind of do so much with it. You can dangle something from here. You can have it come out, be the center coming from either side. You can do it asymmetrical if you want. And I've been going back and forth on what beads I want here. I like the idea of purple. I didn't find, when I was looking at my beads, my little tiny beads, because I want to use tiny beads, I couldn't decide what I wanted on it. I didn't find a fit. The reason why I'm doing these colors is I have these left over, and I thought those would look really good, so I can add those to that edge. And I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get this ball rolling. So the 18 gauge, we need to cut 2 pieces of 18 gauge wire because we are going to wrap 2 pieces together on one side. And then I'm only going to go into a single. Now you can, if you want to do this whole thing wrapped, oh my gosh, that'd be so pretty too. There is nothing wrong with doing that, you know, cut the full length for both of them and continue that around. That would be spectacularly beautiful, but I'm doing a half and half. I'm on a half and half. I've been doing a lot of half and half things lately. I've done a lot of bracelets that are like half of it is strung and the other half is wire links. I've done half stretchy, half, leather. I don't know what it is about this half and half thing. You gotta embrace whatever you want, right? All right, I'm going to say it's probably like 7 inches for the main heart. And then I'm going to cut a little piece that's a little bit less because we don't need as much for the one side. So I'm going to say that's like 5 inches. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my live today. Let's see. Oh, maybe that's better. Maybe that's better. I think that's better. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm just kind of like, you can use your nylon tip pliers. I'm just kind of using my hands. Ooh, that little nick almost got my finger, so we're going to cut that off. We don't like that. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Ooh, no hurting. Got my 2 pieces. Now I'm going to cut a piece of my, now I'm using 24 on this one. My original one right here is 26. So use whichever one you have, but you don't probably want to go thicker than the 24 because it's going to be a lot harder to do all of those wraps. Thank you, Rosalinda. So good to see you too. I appreciate that. So good. You get that little heart, #heart. In to enter the sweepstakes at the end. We are going to cut, I'm going to say it's like 2 feet. 2 feet. If you have not done any wiring with me or even any beading with me before, I am not a big measurer. I eyeball things. And if I have to add, I add. But a lot of times I try to aim for more so that I don't have to add if I don't have to. All right, so we're gonna put the 2 parts together, and what I'm going to do is the longer piece is gonna go on the outside, the shorter piece is gonna go on the inside. We're gonna kind of keep them like kind of together on one end. Okay. So we're going to start with the longer piece, and I'm going to just take one end of my 24 gauge or 26 gauge, whichever one you're using. I'm going to just wrap it a couple times. Now, I'm doing this tight, but not so tight. Like, it does slip off. It's okay. I don't mind that because I like to do my wrapping on the short end, and like technically we want to have this way over here. Actually, it's going to be like more like that. Technically I want it way over here, but I don't like going in between long pieces. It annoys me. So what I like to do is make it tight enough to look good, but loose enough that I can do some wraps and then scoot it over. Do some wraps, scoot it over. Do some wraps, scoot it over. It's just so much easier to wrap between short ends than it is long ends. I'm hoping that makes sense to you. It's Thomas Manning, but I think Kristen's just in the comments to have fun with us because we all love you. We all love you and want to have more time with you in any fashion that we can. All right, so I wrapped in there. Now I'm bringing this one underneath. So that's parallel-ish. And I'm going to try to utilize this natural curve that has happened in the wire to go around the heart. And we're going to now place this over, and we're going to do a figure 8 between the two. So it's going over the bottom one, in between the two, and I'm kind of pushing it towards it with my thumb, and then over the top one, go between the two, over the bottom one, go between the two, over the top one, and we're figure eighting, and I'm just going to try to push it down next to each other. I'm leaving a little bit of a space because I like it spaced out a teeny bit instead of getting it right on top of each other. Oh, I know, we kind of, with everything, all the fun, busy stuff that we're doing at Softflex, this one accidentally got lost in the in the setup, so it did. But we are going to be every Thursday. I'm going to be here either on doing Spill the Beads at 10 a.m. Pacific time, or next week I'm going to do the bead live. Now, I didn't get to do the live bead sell last week because it was Tucson week, and Kristen and Sarah got to do that. And that was amazing. That was so fun. They worked so hard to do that, and you all loved what they found. And I'm just so excited to see what everybody, once they get their stuff, what they make with it, right? And then I'm scooting it down. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to keep going back and forth. Again, it's a figure 8. So it's over, and around, between, over, around, between, over, around, between. Just a nice little figure 8. What's your favorite part of all the things that we showed you? What was your favorite part of the Tucson experience with Softflex Company? I would love to hear that, because there was so much going on. I don't know how you would pick. How do you pick? I mean, one of my favorite parts was seeing the beautiful smiles of Kristen and Sarah together, because they have been friends, not only colleagues, and but they've been friends forever. And I just love seeing them together when they get to do things together. It always makes my heart so happy when they get to be in person together for events. I know, Terry, that's exactly what I was thinking. So true. They robbed you. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. They robbed us all, but it was so worth it, huh? I can't wait. I hope you all, once you get them, y'all share some of your loot, share some of your designs on our VIB, Softflex VIB group. Make our day. Thank you, all of you that have been making the love knots. I am sorry, I did get sick. And so I did see those love knots, and they were great. And I didn't get a chance to comment yet because I wanted to comment while I was feeling better. And then, of course, everything got lost in the Tucson stuff. But I'm going to go back and look at them again. I loved seeing them. I am still working on my necklace that we talked about, and I'm going to share that once that's finished. I'm hoping to have that done for this weekend. Now, if you notice, this is starting to get a little bendy. It's okay. It doesn't matter. We're going to go a little bit further. Let's see. I want to go probably about there. The 24 is a little stiffer, so it's making it a little bit harder to get them as neat as I want, but that's okay. We're not going to hate on it. It's still a beautiful heart, and we're still going to shape it really nicely. And I can't wait for next week. I know Rosa's been working hard on the next live sale, and I know that there's some things that got picked specially for it, and there's always good stuff. This is my year to create instead of just hoard. I say hoard, but like in a good way, treasure hunt. I'm a little dragon unicorn that like sparkles. Dragon, unicorn, mermaid, so like anything that kind of falls in that, and I've been collecting pieces, and this is my year to get creative, add to my stash, because you never can have too many beads, despite anyone that might say differently in my life. Yes, Nancy, it was fun. It is, Terry. I've had the worst cold and flu season I've had since my kids were in school. So it's been a while since I've been sick, like in bed, can't get out of bed sick for at least a week. Every month, October, November, December, January. Knock on wood, so far I've been good for February, and we are almost halfway through, so I'm feeling pretty confident with that, but we're trying to not jinx that. I love that little bit of the blue peeking. Is it just too dark? Is that light? I don't know if you could see how nice that. Well, when you see it in the picture, maybe you could say, I really like that blue peeking through that vintage bronze. Okay, I'm just moving it along. So I'm going to do a little bit more. We're almost there. Doesn't take too long. So this is my favorite thing about this figure 8 weave. Out of all the like wire weaving, I think the figure 8, other than just wrapping it over, I think the figure 8 is one of the quickest and easiest to get it to look pretty neat. Much easier to get it neat with the 26. So I will suggest go back, go to that. But if you want to just try it out, the 24 works. Or if you're like me, I'm like, that's all I have, so that's what's going to work. You know what, Nancy? I've been I've been trying to do the whole curbside pickups as much as I can. It's just so crazy. I just never have been getting, like, every time I thought I was in the clear, I'd get it again. And I'm like, I'm masking up more just to kind of keep myself from being exposed. But you're right, those are the places. True, Liz. The weather here in Northern California has been a contributor, because it has been a little bit more cold and wet and damp and all that. Okay. there it is. That is my wrapping. That's all she wrote. I am this one I finished right there. And then when I brought this over, I'm like okay with it just kind of hanging out. It's for the most part, it does open up. And if I'm hanging a bead to it, I would want to like wire these together. So I'm going to actually leave this wire just in case. But the other thing is I might add beads to here. And if I'm adding beads to here, then it wouldn't really matter. Because I can add the beads and I can use that, or it wouldn't matter to leave this because I can use the a new one to hook there and go. So that's kind of what I'm planning. I don't know. Oh. Thank you, Zach, for sure. It is the best. And right now you can get 20% off of our beading wire with I remembered it at one part. Yeah, Soft Flex Lover as the coupon. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm planning on using some small beads. I'm planning on using these little leftover crystals from the last project I did on the side. And I thought that blue wire is part of the best part of that. All right, so I'm leaving this one, but I'm going to cut this one because this is going to be annoying. So I'm going to cut, this is going to be my back. So I'm cutting it off. And normally I cover and I try to not let those little ends flick out because we don't want to get it caught on anything, but I did. I messed that up. And then I'm going to just twist that tight with my chain nose pliers around there. Oh, before I tighten it, I'm going to move these down because I want these to be the little curls right there. So I'm going to start out with the inner one. I know. I love that you're hanging out with us, Kristen. And then we're going to start with making a loop with the round nose pliers. I like to make my spirals very open. I'm a very open spiral girl. You can make these nice and tight if you like to, because those are really pretty too. And I'm just going to start it. Now, what I find is that sometimes that tip gets pinched when with my pliers when I'm starting it. So I like to get it a little bit further than this, like that, and then cut a little off, and making sure that the flat side of the cut is towards the curve so that I have a nice flat edge there, and then that just looks a little bit better. Now I'm going to do kind of the same thing with this one. I'm going to start, get this started, I'm going to change the look a little bit on this one. Cut off a little bit off. And there we go. All right, so I got my first bits of my curve. Now I'm going to just kind of just gently start curving this into the heart shape. And since I haven't cut this, if I needed to, I could also add more weave. And I'm letting this spread out a little bit. And I'm doing this with just my hands. I find that I can be softer with the bend, hold it at different spots to get my heart to go the way I want it to go. And all my hearts slightly different. I let the wire kind of speak to me about how I'm going to make that go. Almost want it to go a little further down. So I might try to sneak in a few little wraps here. Okay, go. There we go. So that's my 1/2. And then now I'm going to form this bottom part. Oops, I cut that. I forgot that I should not have cut that, but that's okay. We'll talk about that in a second. We are going to make our loop. And I'm just going around. Since I'm at the bottom and I'm on the left side, then I'm going clockwise around the tip of the pliers to come back out. There you go. Now, at this point, if you wanted to, you can bend this one here and then do more wrapping on the other side. Or you could do what I'm gonna do, which is to cut it. Now, in this one, I cut it and I had a little bit more. I left a larger tail. And then I end up wrapping the edge and wrapping the parts together. The base wire is 18 gauge, and I suggest doing 26 for the wrapping, but I'm using 24 today. This one is done with 26. Both of these are done with the 18 gauge. And then I'm going to cut it a little further, because what I think I'm going to do on this case, because I didn't leave, I could add another little piece of wire if I wanted to kind of bind that. I don't want to cut it right at the edge here because it could like move a little and the little pieces can if I cut right there, those can fall over. That's why I have a little extra wire so I can make a couple extra wraps would stay in place. So what I'm going to do with this is instead of doing that, I'm going to actually put a little curlicue here. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go up or if I want to go down around here. Let's see what it looks like. I can always change it. Oh, I'm out of. Sometimes I feel like I'm right under the camera and then I realize I'm too far away. Oh, you could use 28 and it would be really much easier on your hands. You're going to use a lot more wire though. So if you use 28, instead of like I did about 2 feet of wire, I would say do like 3 feet or maybe a little bit more, or just be okay with adding. Just because it's going to take a lot more, because it's smaller, it's going to take a lot more wire to do the wrapping for the size. That's my only 2 cents on that. I'm going to squeeze this in here a little bit, and I'm going to make this, I think I want it to go downwards. Yep, I like it better downwards. So we're going to go downwards and press down. So now I don't have to worry about the little ends slipping out there. If you have it a whack it down, I would suggest do a little whack it down, or if you have like a mallet, that would be another thing. Now I'm going to go up this side, and we're going to, well, that's okay. We're going to shape our heart. So we're going to just kind of like, I'm going to go with that natural curve, pull it around until just kind of bend it. Oh, Sherry, that's a good idea. When you share it to yourself, it makes it a lot easier to find these videos again. But you can always find the videos on our YouTube channel. There is a Spill the Beads page, I believe. All right, so that's looking pretty good. And then you want to decide how you're going to go. Now on this one, I let it go swoop down and then curled so that it was like 3 in a row, kind of in the same direction. This one, I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and I'm going to make it go more, start with a little curve. There we go. Little. Oh, yes. You know, it is hard to sometimes figure out what you can do with some of the old stock that you might have that you're like, I don't use that size anymore. What can I do? And weaving with 28 is gives such a delicate, fine look. It's so lovely. You just use a lot more, which is fine, because when you have, it has a lot more on your spool usually. So you'll have it. You'll have it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I love that. I love that. I like it going that direction. That is really sweet. And then I'm going to take this one and wrap a little bit more. Now I'm going to do a loose spiral wrap until I get to where they are together. Before I do that, I am going to flatten it a little bit. Now this wire can be flattened, but if you over flatten it, or if you, with the hammer and a anvil, if you over flatten it, you do run the risk of the copper showing. Now I do have a little bit of the copper showing right here where I nicked it. Since I'm going to put beads on the edge, I'm not worried. I'm going to cover it up with the wire. But one thing that I have done is get a matching colored Sharpie and just colored those little edges when that happens, and that covers it. It usually works pretty good. So all I did was take my bench block and just, okay, we are going to be loud for a second. So hold on to if you're in your earbuds, change the, while I hammer, it's going to get loud. So change the volume if you need to. I'm using the flat parts to just flatten it. That's going to do two things. It's going to make it a little stiffer. It's going to give a little texture. It's going to make it a little flatter. and it's going to just make it nice for when I go put the beads on. Now that I'm here, I'm going to go and just gently wrap, take this wire and do like a little bit like a open swirly look here, and then I'm going to connect these two together with a couple of wraps. And then I'm going to carry that loose wrap around the second side, the coil on the second side, to just kind of give it a nice little flow. I'm going to open those, spread those out a little bit because I want that to be a little looser. There we go. Now we're going to just finish this one off. Okay. I will say I've been wiring for a very long time. My very first things do not look as good as these do. 2 things that I do to make it look good. Practice, and then hammering gives enough texture that usually that, like, if it weren't like quite smooth enough, fixes that look. Wiring, decorating with some beads and wire adds to it. But it's when I do these things like the coils, I'm always just, I'm not gripping as hard. You want to get it in practice. We A lot of times the wire feels like you got to really grip hard, bend hard, and it's a combination. You need to have that strength, but you also need to like loosen up as you move. So you're not always just full tightness. You're tight and loosening up at the same time. And those things is what's gonna will help make it a little easier. And you know what? When you have a spool of wire, if I didn't like that, I could cut another piece off, try again. Maybe practice the coils before I start wrapping. Like if you're like, I really have a hard time shaping, before you start doing this wrappy part, practice doing those coils. Practice those little small things, right? Yes, Nancy, that's it. You got to take more time. That give yourself grace and take more time. I'm doing this kind of quickly, but I'm only really allowed to do it this quickly because of all the years of practice with wire. When I'm not, my projects, like sometimes I'll go into a seed beading or a stringing. I like to have and that's like where most of my projects are going. And I might put like craft wire on hold for a little bit. I always like to have a little bit of craft wire to just kind of practice, get that muscle memory, keep that muscle memory going. So even if I'm not making anything with craft wire in that, I might just like give my like when I'm going, oh, do I like this color of that bead or whatever in a stringing project or a bead weaving project, I can give my brain a little break and I can just practice in that hands-on motion and building that muscle memory. Helps like also make me reset my brain, and then I can go back to my project and I'm good. So I always like to have a little bit, have my pliers ready, have a little and maybe make a couple little earrings or something, or just fiddle around and not even make anything. All right, there we go. So we can keep it as that. or we got 11 minutes, and we need to make get your hashtag heart in so that you can enter into it to win the sweepstakes. But we can add some beads to the edge, and I have these ones right here. So we are going to go for it. If I can get that one off. There we go. We're going to have to cut this one off. These are little tiny, like 2x3 rondelle crystals. You could use just about anything. In fact, some of those little teeny tiny, I could see like the apatite that we had, or the rutilated quartz, or those cherry quartz, those little tiny itty bitty gemstones would look. So maybe that's what I need to do, is see if we have any more of that strawberry quartz. Wouldn't strawberry quartz look really good on this? Oh my gosh. So and that's a nice thing about using these thin wires to like do the wrapping. They fit in those little gemstones so easily, right? All right, I'm cutting another piece that's about maybe two feet. I'm going to go over here to this edge, and I am going to add some wire right there. Now, what we need to decide, am I putting the crystals on the inside or the outside? Comment if you have a choice, if you have a preference. Do you think that would look better on the inside of the heart? Because I could have made this side a little shorter or inside, and then when I put this on the outside, this was, because if I put this on the outside, it's going to make that side look larger, which is fine because it's not like a symmetrical heart anyway. But if you're trying to go for a symmetrical heart, you might want to make that a little bit smaller so that once you put the beads on the outside, it works. Or do I make it go on the inside? Because we could do the same technique, whether you put it on the outside or the inside. I'm going to use the same technique. Maybe I just do it on the inside so it keeps it the same. I got one outside. I know, I think the outside is kind of like where I'm going. I'm not going to, that's usually how I do it. But I just thought, let's just look at it for a minute, see what we think. I like lopsided hearts too. I'm with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I said Carol. I didn't notice it was coral. That is so much prettier. Oh no, okay. I know Carol's, and Carol is really pretty too, but coral, I love that. All right, let's get this wire on. Yes, we have 8 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna cut that off later, just giving ourselves a little bit of a tail so that I can do some wraps. I'm not worried about the wraps being great right now because I have a little bit of a tail, and I can, if I need to fix it down a little bit more, I can use that little bit of a tail for that. Well, it's just like, I'm gonna be honest, my eyesight's not as good as it used to be. So when I first glanced, I did not catch it. All right, so I'm adding a bead, letting it drop down, and then I'm gonna go. I like to do it behind, like, because I'm wrapping over and behind. I'm gonna bring this down around. I like to kind of push it and then grab around instead of trying to take this end and push it and thread the end through. When I do this, I tend to kink my wire. So if I take it up close to where it is and I push that through in that direction, I can then like slide it through, and then I get less kinks. Okay, there we go. Ah, thank you. I am so glad to be back too. So you're going to be able to find me for Spill the Beads on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Every other Thursday is a Spill the Bead. The ones in between is a bead live sell with Softflex Company, which you'll see me too, because you'll see my hands underneath looking at all the beads, trying to and thinking of our next next project. All right. We're going to add another bead. Slide that down. Go behind. Push it through. Slide it through. And then I like to do an extra wrap. I feel like that stabilizes it. You can wrap, just bead one wrap, bead one wrap. But to me, that little extra just kind of, I feel like it lines everybody up better and it stabilizes it better. So when I was looking for beads for the, oh, when I was looking for beads for this, I love this color bead too. And it goes, I saw this little the partial strand that was left over from a previous project. And I did two things. You're going to see it in an upcoming Spill the Beads. But I was like, oh, I have that blue 18 gauge wire. It would be so cool with the blue 18 gauge wire. And I did have blue thin wire, and I was thinking about using just blue on blue. And then I saw the bronze and the vintage bronze, and I was like, oh no, that's the winner, because it pulls that little bit of the vintage bronze that are on these little crystals. All right, we got a few minutes. If you haven't already, get your little hashtag heart in. We're going to draw a winner in just a couple minutes. This is going to take a teeny bit more time. Now, I like to make a loop because I feel like the loop at the bottom, I like the loop because it looks like the spirals. You could just do a point, or because the loop is there, it also gives you the opportunity to dangle something from there. So don't be afraid to dangle things from it. I don't know if I have something for this one. I'm going to have to look at my stash. I feel like I have something that might look good with this, with these colors. Because hello, these are good colors. But have I used those things yet? I don't know. Well, no, I have something. I'm sure I have something. Oh, Susie, you forgot got an E. Make sure you get that E in your hashtag heart. I don't want you to miss out. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Heather. Hi, Susan. So good to see so many of our friends, some new friends and some old friends. I am so happy to be here. Oh, oh, oh. Very awesome. Oh, you do have to be careful of your bicone crystals. You are right. The bicone crystals are a little bit more sensitive than the rondelles. I will admit that, and that's because of the shape. You are going to find that they're going to like lean also, so let it lean. Lean into it. One way that I let drop down when I do it with the bicone crystals particularly, I like to pinch with my my holding hand. I like to pinch it like that between the fingers. because then that kind of stabilizes the beads. Because what cracks it is that bending of the wire puts pressure. And when we go to like wrap, it just adds too much pressure. So I tend to pinch it between my fingers and then gently pull it down, reposition and pinch it again. Like I kind of almost like pinch that wire together, then push this through and wrap. And I always have like I'm always putting a finger behind it when I go to wrap it, because sometimes on this wrap is where it cracks because you're pulling on it, and if you pull it without stabilizing it, it can kind of pull and put pressure in the hole of the bead. Oh, I hate that sound too. I hate the way it feels too. Like, because you can feel it, that crunchy sound is awful. And so I know. It's awful. It's awful. We try to get through it though. All right, 11 o'clock. We are about, so all I'm going to do is keep doing that and then wrap the very end here, finish off this one right here. And we got, again, I keep going. Why do I keep going further up than I really need to be? So that's how it's going. I'm just going to keep that process going around the edge there, and then just wrap it like I did on this end, and then finish that up, and it's going to be good. Let's us let's see who's the winner. Did you get your hashtag heart in? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will say my number, besides the other, don't be afraid to don't be afraid to cut that up and start again if you're not happy with your heart. Okay. Woo! We got 34 of you. We are ready. Let's see who is the winner. Winner. Do. Who's the winner? Who's the winner of hashtag heart? Lydia! Yay! Thank you. Are you here? Elvia. Elvia? Did I say that wrong the first time? I might have. Elvia, are you here? No more winter. Yes, we need winners. No more. No. Oh, we have more snow today. Congratulations. Oh, yay! Congratulations. I'm so glad you are here. Email marketing@softflexcompany.com with your name, username, and email that you created with your Softflex Company account on our website, so that they can apply your credit. Congratulations. Then go and get shopping, and don't forget to put your Softflex Lover coupon in to get 20% off of your purchase of beading wire. Grab some craft wire if you need to while you're there and make some hearts. And don't forget that Tucson goodie bag. They got a great little goodie bag. If you missed out on the live bead sale, you should grab that that Tucson goodie bag, because that's awesome, but fun. And we have some Tucson inspired pieces. These are items that are on our website that are things that we've picked up from Tucson in the past years, or they are like things that you would find in Tucson. So thank you for watching this with me. Thank you for beading with me. This is always such a joy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that there was 4 of them. I knew that there was I thought there was 2. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to go and put the email in and get one of each for me. Because I need one. Anyway, I will see you. They do keep taking our money, don't they? I think I'm working for Beads at this point. Um, which is, it's all good. I like that. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you next week for Kristen at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And can't wait to see what she does next week. And Sarah at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. And then I'm back with Sarah and Rosa with the live bead sale on Thursday, 10 a.m. Oh, a quick little cheater. The following one, which I think is the 26th, whatever the following one, I'm going to do a tree of life. So if you're on the website, grab a couple of those hammered rings. We're going to do a little tree of life. That's going to be coming up. Anyway, I'll see you later. Have fun. Bye.